Come on in, you guys. Make sure you like the video. Excuse me. I don't know why the notifications are not being sent out. It's taking a minute. Like usually when I first go live, the notifications will be sent out. So I don't know what's going on with YouTube right now. Excuse me. Good evening, Clara from NYC. Hey, Mari. Hey, Leah. GAZ. So how about y'all tell me what y'all thought about the last episode, like as a whole? Like how y'all feeling about Married at First Sight so far? Hey Georgiana, hey Becca, you got yours? Okay, good. Good. Usually I get a notification, but I haven't gotten mine yet. But maybe I just haven't gotten mine, child. Thank you. My earrings are from my website, LaVidarosa Style. Check it out. Hey from Hershey, Pennsylvania. I will say I didn't like the editing from this episode. I didn't like the fact that they pieced together. I don't like how they pieced together the weddings. Like I said it on my review. I don't like how they had the wedding. They had Bao and Johnny's wedding, and then they had Zach and Michaela's wedding. But then they went back to dress shopping. I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. Ooh, that was so annoying. I'm not staying long because I haven't started watching the season yet. Okay, honestly, you really haven't. You missed 3 weddings, but you haven't missed too much. I don't like the back and forth either. Okay, I won't spoil it for you, but I do hear 2 couples are divorced and one is a shocker. Well, look, please don't tell me. I don't want to know. Maybe I should put the spoiler. I used to have the spoiler things up here. I wonder, can I change that? Because I make sure y'all don't put any spoilers in the comments, you guys. Because regardless of how last season went, I didn't even want spoilers for last season, even though there weren't many spoilers to give. Hey Lexi, I'm glad you got a notification too, Tasia. Hey love for my 4C. The old editing was much better. This is stupid. Exactly. What was that? The first episode was 3 hours. I know. Honestly, if I were just like casually watching the show, I would just skip everything and fast forward straight to the weddings because who truly cares? Oh, no spoilers, you guys. I'm trying to, let me see. I don't know if I can change it while I'm on here. Let me see real quick. Yeah, it won't let me change it while I'm on here. Yeah, but just no spoilers. If y'all see people putting spoilers, make sure y'all say no spoilers, okay? Entirely too long, fell asleep. Right, it's just too long. Like 3 hours, that's longer than a movie. Y'all really think we want to sit here and watch 3 hours worth of footage? Like this ain't no documentary. Like yeah, there's no reason this is week 3 and we still haven't seen all the weddings. Crazy. I wasn't gonna watch, but Bao and Johnny's wedding got me. I'm just not with this 4 hour long behind the scenes. Right. Don't nobody really care. Maybe they should go back to when the couples didn't interact and went on separate honeymoons. I actually like the fact that the couples interact. I kind of like that aspect of the new format. Um, I don't know. I feel like it kind of helps to have a little camaraderie, but at the same time, it could be a little bit detrimental because couples might want to compare themselves with other couples. Um, But it also maybe could push you to be like, well, if they're doing that, then maybe it's okay for me to let my guard down a little bit. So I don't know. I feel like there's negatives and positives to it, but I feel like the positives outweigh the negative with that. They are milking it. Maybe put a in your background no spoiler sign. I need to make one, right? Usually I put it here. I don't know why I changed that. It used to be, I don't even know how to change it back. I need to figure that out. Let me see. Let me see. Okay, I think I can do this. Let me see if I have access to it. All right, there we go. I had to figure that out on the spot. I like them interacting, but this last season with Chris and Paige, and before that with Christina and Henry, made me think back to the old way real quick. I could see that. I could see, in certain situations, I don't know. I feel like some of those people are special cases though. Like Chris, I feel like Chris would have been Chris no matter what. In fact, we wouldn't have had fights, but he still would have acted a fool. All right, you guys. I don't. We only have 3 couples to discuss, so I'm just gonna jump right into the first couple, Bao and Johnny. So on this episode, we saw them do their tea ceremony, which they're both Vietnamese, so this is one of the cultural traditions that they have during marriage. And from what I saw, I don't know what it all consists of, but from what we saw, you know, they each of them would serve their parents with tea, and it's kind of a way to join the families together. And as you can see, they wear their traditional garb, and it looks really nice. It looks like a really fancy, nice little ceremony to have. I love the cultural aspect as well. I've never seen it before. I didn't know about it before this, but it was a beautiful thing, like to have just like a dedicated ceremony to, you know join the family together, because honestly, when you get married, that's what you're doing. So to have like a little dedicated portion or dedicated ceremony for that is a beautiful thing. Technically, Bao and Johnny got 2 wedding episodes. True. I'm not mad at them either, but they had a lot going on with their wedding. Their wedding had like 2 parts. So I can kind of understand. They had 2 separate ceremonies. And also, on Unfiltered, Bao mentioned that her and Johnny had a conversation about his father not being there, and him being very, he felt a way about it. And she said that, she told him that we were going to take a trip to California, and we're going to try to convince him to, you know, get over it. Like, he's married now, and that's his wife, so you might as well get past it. But I was watching The Bald and the Beautiful, Mrs. Kev on Stage, and all of those influencers. I was watching their podcast, and I didn't watch all of it, but Angel was like, her dad wasn't truly present in her life, and she would be like, she could care less if he didn't show up to the wedding. And I was like, you know what, you're right. Like, if my dad, like, who wasn't present in my life for the majority of it, decided, oh, I'm gonna be so against you marrying a stranger, who cares what your opinion is? You know what I'm saying? I understand he's very family oriented, but sometimes you got to understand, like, you can't force nobody to have a relationship with you, period. And I just feel like kids shouldn't have to chase after their fathers were not present. Hi Tyronda, hi Tara, hi Fedora. You're not too late. I love to see the way other cultures have their marriage ceremonies. You can take something from every culture. True. But some people are people pleasers, which Johnny is through and through. I totally agree. Johnny, I feel like he needs to work on that. He probably needs to get therapy for that or something, because he's a people pleaser, and on top of that, he wants somebody clingy. Those are red flags, honey. Like, I like him, he's charming, but he does have you know what I'm saying? Like, are you just gonna sit up here and let your dad ruin your day simply because he didn't show up, even though he hasn't been there for the most part anyway? I like that they introduced a lot of people like me to the Vietnamese tea ceremony. A lot of y'all enjoyed that. I'm glad. I did too. You can get my earrings from my website. Thank you. I feel like I would say, who cares if that was my dad, but deep down inside, I would still care. Okay. I could understand having the feeling of wanting your dad there regardless. I could understand that, but I just wouldn't let that bring me. I couldn't let that bring me down. And that just shows me that he has daddy issues and mommy issues, if you think about it, because he also said his mom never told him I love you or hugged him. So, child, I feel like Johnny might, he might, he might should not have been chosen, because when you think about all that, it don't sound like he's ready to be married. You got a lot of stuff you need to work on first. I mean, we here now, but I mean, if the experts were really doing their job, he really should have been. I don't know if this is the right candidate, because he has a lot of, familial issues that he seems to still struggle with. Like, he doesn't seem to cope well with that. Bao doesn't seem like the clingy type. She showed don't. I think he knows that she's not and will accept that. Johnny is seeking the love he didn't get from his dad and women he dates now, and his wife. And the love he didn't get from his mom too. I think when he says clingy, he probably means affectionate, and he desires his company. I mean, I do think that too, but I also think he wants somebody that's, gonna be all. I think he's given people, pursued people that didn't feel the same way about him. And so maybe it might be like a kind of a defense mechanism. Like, I want to make sure this person loves me for sure, before I invest my all into it, because he sounds like somebody that falls hard. So many of these people have had trauma in their past. They should have had therapy before they were picked. Child, you know what? When I was watching the first episode, so many of them said that they were homeless or grew up in poverty. And when we get to Mirla, we could talk a little bit more about that with her. But it does seem like she's trying to like pacify the fact that she didn't have much growing up with the things that she can buy now. And also many of them, I think, as far as I can remember, Michaela and Gill lost their father tragically. Um, yeah. And Bao, she was her and her family are refugees. So there was, you're right. You're right. It's a lot of trauma going on this season. Like childhood trauma. If a man tells me he wants me to be clingy after a few weeks, I'm gonna be tired of being clingy. Let me tell you something. I'm the wrong one to get clinginess from, because when I feel too much of a clinginess, when I feel too much of a, you all up on top of me, I need a little air. I need a break from that from time to time. I'm an only child, you know. I I need space sometimes, okay? I can't do clingy. I do like to be, I like to be clingy a little here and there, but for the most part, no. I think there has to be a little something off with anyone who would even want to get married at first sight. You sound like my grandma. You sound just like my grandma. That's what she says. That's what she always says. I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. I don't know. But I think some really like awesome people have like came on the show and have become great spouses to their significant others, but you're right. A lot of people that come on this show do seem to have trauma now that I think about it. That's crazy because men don't want a clingy woman. They want space, so there's definitely some issues. Yep. Yes, and some of their attachment styles are not on point. Some are used to being single and not ready to compromise. You're seeing through all the seasons don't have more than 15 couples still together. Child, I know. I just saw on Couples Cam that Jeff T and Shanice finally, I don't mean to say finally, I don't want to wish no bad on nobody's marriage, but theirs seem to always be toxic. I see that they're finally separated. But they still in the same house, y'all. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen with it. And they are so young. I understand 35 years old, but in your 20s, come on. Though I am already married, if I wasn't, can't see myself being on Married at First Sight for anyone. Ain't enough loneliness in the world. I would be Olivia Pope or Tracy Ellis Ross, single and happy. Let me tell you something. Me too. I don't think that's the end of the world. I really don't. I don't think it's the end of the world. I would love to get married, but I'm not one of those people that thinks my whole that I wouldn't consider it a failure if I didn't end up getting married. Are they separate? They said they still together. That threw off my whole mood. Cause I was just watching on the show. They were separated. So they back together. Is Jeff D actually going to start showing some sort of interest in their relationship now? Marriage counseling would be great yes. Wouldn't it? It would be great for them to get some sort of counseling at least a couple of months. Like, you find out you're chosen, right? Get some counseling at least a couple of months before you actually go through with it. Shanice better pack it up like Miss Viola did swiftly. Okay. My value is not rooted in being a wife. Thank you. Thank you. That's why I was confused. I saw pictures of them on Instagram. Ugh. Couples cam is clearly it's delayed. Clearly. She just posted a vacay video and they're together. Well, maybe something changed. I'm not gonna judge them too harshly. Maybe something changed. Yes, he's been emotionally unavailable since the beginning. Right. Okay, yeah, let's go to the next. Thank you. I'm sorry. I just dipped off on that Jeff D and Shanice train. We'll talk about that another time. So let's talk about Michaela and Zach. Oh, aren't they so cute? Didn't they have like the like they have to have like top 5 most chemistry when first meeting on this show? Like for real. There's Amani and Woody, and there's Zach and Michaela. Period. I can't remember nobody else that really connected that quickly, that well. It was as if they already knew each other. Love them too. I need me a Zach in my life, right? Zach look kind of good. His brother do too. Did y'all see his brother? His brother was kind of cute too. But I know his brother probably married or in a relationship or something like that. But I was just like, okay, y'all kind of the looks running the family. I love Michaela and Zach. They better not disappoint. I really hope not. That would really like I need something to hold on to this season, and I'm really holding on to them. I may be the only one, but I don't think they're gonna make it. The wedding was cute though. Aww. Like a lot of people said that before this episode aired, I posted a picture of them, and I said I had a good feeling about it. And a lot of people were like, I don't know. A lot of people are saying I don't know. Please don't spoil this for me though. Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it. Just let me be happy right now. I missed the comment, but I think somebody said Amelia and Bennett had a good. They did. They did. I heard that they're the done for real, and I feel terrible about it because they're another couple that had like serious chemistry when they first met, but Amelia said she went on the show to be on TV, so I'm not surprised after hearing that. I wanted them to make it. I wanted to believe the love was real and genuine. But anytime somebody say they went on here to be on TV, I don't expect it to work. Zach gives me Ryan vibes. Everyone else is getting married, and I don't want to be left behind. You think so? I think he just wants a wife. Michaela seems like the type to cheat. What? How do you get that from her? What made you say that? Amelia and Bennett are done. Not surprised, to be honest. Amelia wasn't too. She wasn't. Not when you kind of look back on it. Bennett was way more invested than she was. She was kind of like enamored, but it was like very kind of surface level. Are you watching Unfiltered? I watched Unfiltered. I watched both of them, both of the episodes so far, so I'm caught up on Unfiltered. Love them, just don't want Hurricane Michaela to ruin things. I know, right? Oh my goodness. I would like to see that in action because her sisters made it seem like it wasn't no joke. So I don't think it should be taken lightly. I just wonder what does I want to know what does Hurricane Michaela look like, and what causes a Hurricane Michaela? That's what I want to know. No, Ryan is peculiar. I'm gonna leave it at that. The emotional detachment was a bit too much. Yeah. If anything, I would think Zach is kind of like the opposite of Ryan in that he is completely invested and he doesn't mind. He's not gonna try to fake in front because he was willing to sit up there and boohoo like a baby on camera. So I really don't think. I would hope that wasn't the case. Unless he's some sort of master manipulator. The Zach Jr. was hilarious. It was. Oh, so you want a Zachary Jr. Girl, you already on kids? It was funny. He said he wanted a wife for forever. He's only 27, so I would like to know what happened. She should be ashamed of herself. You talking about Amelia? Michaela was literally at love at first. I know, right? Because she like she called that man gorgeous when she first met him. I'm like, girl, don't do that. You don't know who Zach is yet. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's gonna end up being all right, but you don't be telling men all that when you first meet them. Like, oh, you so fine. Cause men, it'll blow their ego up so much. And they will use that as a weapon against you. Oh, you think I'm fine? Oh, they gonna push their boundaries now. You can't let them know where they stand too soon. She literally had heart eyes. I know. Zach seems like a sweet, genuine, so he does. Y'all think Michaela? Do y'all think Michaela is like drunk on her wedding day? Y'all think she's drunk at the ceremony? That was Paige's first mistake. That was Mindy's first mistake too, because I don't know why that sticks out to me for their wedding when she first like met Zach. She was like, "Oh, he's so fine," like, or "Oh, he looks so good," whatever she said, and she told the whole crowd, and I'm like, that set the stage for what happened. I'm sorry, you just cannot let men know that up front. You can't. You can't. The saddest thing I heard Zach say was that he hoped his wife liked his color. What? Meaning because he's dark skinned? That's kind of sad. He must have had people tell him that no because he's too dark. I mean colorism, duh. But I mean that I don't know, that's sad. I didn't know he said that. Now Michaela seems to be hyped 24/7. I don't think she was drunk. I don't think she was drunk either. I think that's her personality. I don't think she needs to be drunk. I don't think she needs to drink. I think she's just jovial. That's a good word. Thank you. Does Zach have body dysmorphia? Dang, that comment. Why is he so insecure, but he's fine? You'll be surprised. There are a lot of people that are very attractive, but very insecure. That's not uncommon. I mean, it's really not. Um, Especially with colorism. You know what I'm saying? You could just feel unattractive simply because you're dark and he could have been made fun of that when he was a kid. You just never know. Like, there could be a lot of reasons why he feels that way. Maybe he also could have been a nerd. I don't know. He does give a little nerdy vibe, but he's very attractive now. Sometimes when people have a glow up, they still feel like what they used to look like or what their appearance used to be. You know? Michaela is fine. Michaela, she is very pretty. I really like her. Like, just look at her smile. It's like she has a really nice smile, and I love that she did like the little kinky straight hair. I like her dress. I thought she looked really pretty, and of course those lips. Like, oh my goodness, those are lips people pay for. Okay, all day, and you know who's paying for it all day. But see, what they don't understand is she got the features for that, okay? And the skin and everything else. Everybody loves Darcy and men now. I don't get why he was concerned. Well, maybe he still could be living back then. Like I said, he might still have that same mindset. I hope that he's not so insecure that it's going to affect their marriage, though, because that could, if he's very insecure, that could affect them negatively, their relationship. Zach is handsome, but you're right. It doesn't matter if he doesn't see it in himself. True. and her dad was a nerd. Zach is a nerd too. That's another thing I want to bring up, because a lot of people are like, oh, he's going to be too weak, or oh, he's too soft or whatever. When she described her dad, Zach seems to fit into that same mold of what she said about her dad being nerdy, being compassionate, being, there for her whenever she needs it. It just sounds like Zach falls into that same category of, what she loved about her dad. And that is a little weird. It is a little weird, but a lot of people do that. Like whether you're doing it consciously or subconsciously, a lot of times the partner you choose is based off of your parent. Whether you're choosing someone exactly like them, or you're choosing someone, you're trying to find somebody completely opposite of them, a lot of times those choices are influenced by your parent. And if you had a good father, I don't see anything wrong with that. Looking for those same sort of qualities. She said she wanted a provider like her dad. I think Zach would be that for her. True. I'm so tired of these comments, like they are not even giving Zach a chance, and they are already calling him weak and a crybaby. I didn't like that either, because he's getting married. Like, people cry at their wedding. Like, usually when you see wedding videos and you see the man like crying as his bride is walking down the aisle, usually people be like, my husband better cry. My husband better cry. When I walk down the aisle, you better cry. But all of a sudden, when Zach cries before his wedding, all of a sudden it makes him soft or weak or a crybaby. I love my pop. I definitely want a guy similar to my pop. I guess I want good character traits that I admire from my parents, but I wouldn't go out of my way to find someone like my dad. I mean, I guess saying it like that would make it sound really weird, but in essence, I think that's what people mean. Like, I want the good character traits that my father possessed, and I liked the way he interacted with me, and I want my husband to treat me as well as my father did, right? Even Gill was like, I'm not crying. Like, what is the problem with crying? Yeah, Gill was giving me a little toxic masculinity with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if these men want to cry at their wedding, like, he was like, Gill was like, I'm not gonna cry at my wedding. I'm not even gonna cry. I might not even cry during this whole experience. Okay. Do you want a cookie? Like, who cares if you don't cry? Maybe he was having a panic attack. Let me tell you, I feel like that was nerves. I do feel like a lot of it was nerves. Um, I feel like he really wanted to get married, but it was nerves too. Like, I could tell, because whenever my nerves get that heightened, I don't be surprised if I start crying. I mean, if you're from South America, Caribbean, toxic masculinity is the norm. I mean, it's the norm in America too. It's crazy because my father hasn't really been in my life a lot, and it seems that I still pick men like my father. It's crazy. I kid you not. My father, he wasn't really present in my life for the most part. And towards the end we had a better relationship, but he just wasn't. But I when he passed away, I started talking to this guy that was exactly like my dad. Exactly. Exactly. Like, too many things. Even I kind of realized it in the moment, but looking back, he was so much like the only major difference between him and my dad is that he had 2 kids, by the way. Oh my God. I don't know where I did that. But he was a good father. So I think that is the thing that really pulled me into him. But everything else, it was like he was a carbon copy of my dad. It was crazy. It was crazy. And looking back on that situation, I doubt I would have even, because he tried to talk to me before. Tried to talk to me like years before, and I just didn't give him a chance because I wasn't checking for him. But because my father passed away and I was grieving and he reminded me so much of him, I literally fell directly into his arms. It's crazy. Stepmama. I won't do that anymore. It did not last. It did not last. First of all, I was not in the position to be talking to anybody anyway. I was grieving. I should not have been doing that. And 2, he just wasn't the one. He was low key in a way taking advantage of me in a way. But I don't want to go too much into that. I'm glad it never really got to that point where I was actually like playing a stepmama role, because child, bless those children. I was not in a position. Okay, let's move on. I don't want to be on here past an hour, so let's go ahead and move on to Mirla and Gill. Because when someone is abandoned by a parent or caregiver, you tend to look for that missing link in our partners. Attachment style, we must pay attention to this in people. It usually reveals past traumas. Good point. Men love finding a vulnerable one. Okay. I mean, that's a whole video within itself. I'm not even going to get off into that, but okay. I definitely was taken advantage of, I believe. They're not going to work. They're not going to last. My favorite couple, Kayla. I see why Smart is your last name. She said, ugh, he's bald. Why don't these experts take people's preferences seriously? Mirla is so annoying. Let me say something about preferences as far as looks go. Bald-headed, that is so minuscule. Like, it should not, like, if you're gonna be hung up on something like a bald head and it's gonna keep you from giving this man who might have everything else you're looking for, if you're gonna let that hang you up, then you should not sign up for this show. But I'm gonna tell you one thing. Dogs. Now, I might sound like a hypocrite after what I just said, but if you're a dog person versus someone who's not a dog person, that can be a deal breaker. Now, I feel like that is something very serious that should have been taken into consideration before they got matched up. Because, I mean, he might really love his dog, and she says she's not a dog person. And even in my comments, a lot of people were like, yeah, that would have been a deal breaker for me. I'm not a dog person. And some people were like, well, I love my dog, and it would be a deal breaker for me to be with someone who didn't love my dog. So I could see that. Pastor Cal needs to talk to, right? She told them no dogs. Facts, but Mirla is about money, which Gill is trying not to spend. That's another major error. They should have never matched someone who said they're not materialistic and didn't want someone who was with someone who clearly is very high maintenance. She said, "Am I red bottom?" Let me tell you, what her friend said about her during her ceremony was very cringy. so cringy. Like, she's gonna go give clothes to the homeless, but she's gonna make sure she has on her designer. Mirla is snobby and self-absorbed. Grandma didn't look impressed. He spoke. She didn't look impressed. She didn't look impressed at all. But maybe she's just not happy. She might not be happy with the fact that she's getting married at first sight, and it really don't matter who it was. So I'm just gonna give her the benefit of the doubt with that, because some parents probably just was like, "Look, I don't even like the fact that they doing this. I'm just here because it's my child." They doing opposites attract. I know Olivia and Brett. She sure remind me of Olivia, but even like times 10. Because Olivia she wasn't getting injections and stuff like that, or rocking red bottoms. If it was a cat, I would have been like, well, it was nice to meet you. I'm filing for divorce now. If it's a dog, if it's a cat, if it's any animal, I'm just gonna be honest with you. I can't, not in the house. Now if you don't mind the dog staying outside, fine. I think I can live with that. If you don't, maybe even if the dog had its own designated area in the house with the door, maybe like a little baby gate or something, keeping them in that one area. But all over the house, not with that dog hair. All in my stuff. I can't do it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, dog lovers and pet owners. I'm so sorry. Mirla knows what she wants. You see, she got the sexiest wedding dress. They probably had to ship it. I heard she had to. I thought I thought I screenshot something about that dress. Let me see. Dang, I don't think I screenshot it. But I heard that the show will buy your dress if it's like under 15,000, but her dress was more expensive and she had to get it herself. I don't know. She had to get it from a particular place. I'm not sure. She's selling it. Do you feel like her dress was too revealing? I saw people on Twitter. I mean, it's not something I would wear, but that's her decision. If that's what she wanted to rock, if he didn't mind it, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I really don't have too much of an opinion on that. That wedding dress was a stage performance dress. Really? I guess it does kind of look more like a stage performance dress than a wedding dress. Because on screen, it kind of looked like silver to me. But here it kind of looks more like maybe cream or white. I'm going to give Mirla a little grace because she gives back to the community. Honestly, when this episode made me want to like, let's see more. Let me dial it back and let's see more about her before I completely rush to judgment with her, even though a lot of things that we saw from her was kind of annoying. I don't want to like completely prejudge her because I did hear some things that were, her giving back and things like that. It seems like she does have a nice side to her. So I'm just gonna wait for all that. But I did not like the way she spoke to her makeup artist. I didn't like that. She was doing a little bit too much there. There was something saying that the dress was like $10K. The designer sent it to the store. I think the store allowance was okay, maybe I read it wrong. Maybe it was 1,500, not 15,000. That sounds right though, because why would they say 15,000, Pinky? That's stupid. They dresses do not look like they be worth 15,000. So 1,500 sounds about right for the wedding dress, and then hers was more than that. I mean, 10K. I mean, the dress is nice, but 10K? Okay. She has a good job. I like that she works with kids. As long as her self-care activities don't mess with the household, I think it's fun. I feel the same way that I felt about Brianna and Vincent. And Brianna, she likes to splurge and, buy nice things, get her hair done, do this and that, and it adds up. But she makes a lot of money to cover that. So I feel like as long as she makes the money to cover it, who cares? I mean, I just don't think that, why should that be an issue? As long as it's not taken away from bill money and taking care of the household and the amenities, who cares? The fact that her friends read her down because of her spending tendencies, it wasn't even fun. It was kind of cringy. I was like, I mean, hey, if it's the truth is the truth, she didn't seem to be too embarrassed, but it was a little cringy. Like, oof, they made her seem like that's all she's about. We're judging her off of one episode. Let's see how the season goes. I feel the same way. She paid for the label, pretty much. I mean, the dress, it's a nice dress, but $10,000. A person can give back daily, but if there's just a little bit of carelessness, it shows and makes everything else not count. Her makeup looked nice. She was picky because she didn't want to look like Virginia. Virginia makeup was terrible. You know what? If that's the case, I can understand, girl. But her tone was the problem. And if I was her friend, I would have said something. Yeah, they probably could have spoke up. You're right. Because if somebody was doing my makeup and I saw them like doing something I didn't like, I probably would say something. But it's the way she did it. I didn't like the way she spoke to the makeup artist. Bill Cosby gave a lot to his community. I can't even argue with that. I mean, when you write, you write. When you write, you write. When you write, you write. But I'm still, like I said, we still haven't seen. I haven't seen anything to make me like really truly like dislike her. But I guess giving back isn't always indicative of your character. She was low-key dissing her friends' looks when she was talking about the makeup. What? I'll have to go back and watch. She was like, I don't want to look like them. What? I missed that part, y'all. I must not have been paying too much attention. She said that? Now, how you gonna say that about your bridesmaids? No wonder they gave you that jacked up speech. They were probably like, wait a minute, let me add some last minute edits to this speech. Don't do that. Don't do that. I didn't. I wasn't paying attention to that part. I don't know how I missed that. I don't know. But you're right. I wouldn't be surprised if she did. I'm not putting that against her. I believe she said it. She said, I don't want my eyebrows to look like theirs. Let me tell you something. Regardless of their eyebrows or whatever, I feel like she probably should have let them do their thing with her makeup, because I just feel like she could have used some concealer. I feel like some concealer and added a little bit more like bronzer, like, and maybe more blush, something to bring some more color to her face. I feel like she could have really, use some of that. But she's someone who doesn't wear makeup, so she would know that. You know what I'm saying? I kind of wish I like sometimes you should like yeah, you should tell your makeup artist what you want and what you don't want, but critiquing their every move when you don't even know how to do makeup, it's like, well, how you gonna tell them how to do it when you don't even know how to do it? Highlighter too. Yeah, she could have used a little highlighter too. She needed dimension. Yeah, it was very flat. Like she needs something to like add dimension, right? So I kind of wish she would have let the makeup artist do what it do. I mean, she has nice skin, but for on your wedding day, it's kind of like you wanna look like, you want it to look skin like, but you want it to look flawless. I don't see anything wrong with you going every day without wearing makeup, but on your wedding day, especially with a fabulous dress like that, I just would think that you would want your makeup to match it. Makeup for pictures is different from your regular everyday look. That's true. I never worn makeup a day in my life, but I know to say a natural look, please. And then sit back. Especially if you go to somebody, you find what you need to look for with makeup artists. Look for someone, like look for their work. Look for, if I could talk, when you're looking at their work, look for someone with your same skin tone. Ask about, skin types of people that they've done. Look at their makeup looks and see, is this the type of makeup look that I would like? And yeah, basically take that picture to them like, this is what I want. And so they can recreate it on you. But you definitely can't pick makeup artists willy-nilly either. So the flash from the pictures is going to wash her out. Why does she low-key remind me of Chrysanthemum? I could see it. She seemed like Chrysanthemum with a bigger budget because hold on, y'all. All right, y'all. So do y'all think that how do you think they're gonna be in a relationship? How do you think she's gonna be with him? Because I think they're gonna clash over finances, obviously. But he seemed to be quite enamored by her. Maybe he'll like overlook that because it's her. I don't know. This is Houston, right? I'm excited to see the fashions of the ladies because Ready to Love fashions were they were very much city trends, Fashion Nova, Rainbow. The purpose of loose powder is to set foundation, concealer, all that. It's to set the makeup. And sometimes you can use it before your makeup. If you have oily skin, it'll keep you from being so oily. I think they will bump heads. They both have strong personalities. Me too. I do kind of think that, you know what? They do. They are very strong willed, both of them. He said he didn't like the IG model type. He did say that. She probably won't use a filter with him. She probably won't. I know she won't. You know she gonna say whatever's on her mind. The interaction they had when he asked her what she did is how I think all their interactions will be. He will be nice and she will be condescending. And he seemed like the type to be like, because of how she looks, he'll consider that spicy. Because he did not take any issue to how she was talking to him at all. She's going to give him one-word answers and get annoyed with his charisma. If she can bend and fall in love with the dog, maybe, then maybe. But I still don't think they will work. Mirla will drive him crazy. Like, actually make a mountain out of nothing. I could see that too. I feel like that's so specific. Are IG models that common encounter? I've never ran into one. They gave them both the opposite of what they wanted. Low key, especially with the whole high maintenance versus materialist. Ugh. They know they did that on purpose. I know they did. It looks like in the next episode, his friend is not going to like her. Yeah, that no was super condescending. Taylor with a bad wig was an IG model. She was. It didn't translate to real life. I mean, she's pretty, but I didn't get IG model from her. I bet Mirla actually falls in love with Gil's dog. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's hard not to, unless the dog is mean. I think the only thing they have in common is Spanish. I can see why she's single. He'll like her hot and spicy until he has to wear his firefighter gear 24/7. There was a preview where she told him take his ring back and get her a better one. Oh yeah, I did see that. Oh, child. I hope that was a joke. Mirla is selling her wedding dress. Ooh, no. I mean, I did hear about that already, but that's not a good sign. No spoilers though. Still no spoilers. I can't believe she was just sitting there stiffly during the bachelorette party. I'll be honest, y'all. I'm not here for bachelorette parties either. Not ones like that where it's a stripper and everything. I probably would have been the same way, low key. I probably would have been very uncomfortable. I'm gonna be honest. She probably was there because she had to be there. This Mirla relationship is gonna be the drama on the show. Yeah, I think she's definitely gonna be the villain. Definitely. Some people say Mirla is overcompensating with her confident air. I could believe that too. Because anytime you feel like you need all of this extra stuff, it does seem like you're overcompensating for something. She did grow up not having much, so maybe, that's what she's overcompensating for. I checked Taylor's IG when season 12 was on. She still rocked the bad wigs. Girl, I want somebody to get her like a really nice lace glueless, please, and have it all pre-plucked and everything, so she could just throw it on. Cause the one from the beauty supply store is not working. She don't know how to customize it. She said the ring doesn't match her personality. Child. I could understand why he would not want to stick around after that whole ring thing. If she truly came to him like exactly how it looked on that clip, I could understand him not wanting to stick around. Yeah, Pinky, but you wouldn't have been shady about the other women having fun. No, I wouldn't. Because that's the thing. If you go to this type of thing, that's what happens. So I wouldn't be sitting there like, oh, what are they doing? I wouldn't be doing that. I would have just probably been like, I'm ready to go home. I would be like, I'm not trying to ruin y'all time, but this ain't for me. But what personality? She is kind of bland. She is kind of very monotone. Her natural hair has to be better than these $10 wigs. I know, right? I really wish she would just wear her real hair. Or braids. I'm sorry, but you don't get an upgraded wig until after the 8 weeks. Right, right. Let's find out what you about to say on decision day first, girl. Gill was still talking to other people, so he has options. What? Y'all, I gotta go ahead and get off of here. I gotta go, you guys. Shopping is her personality. Pretty much. Pretty much. I thought her wigs were braids. Let me get off of here. Shout out to the 111 people in here. Make sure y'all like this video. Like the video, you guys. All this wig talk. Black women need to stop embarrassing us and making us look bad. Child, I feel like for every good wig out there, for every good wig application, there's a bad one. So it just is what it is. Everybody don't know how to do it, and everybody don't care to lay their wigs. You know, some people love to wear their wigs straight out the bag and will brag about it. So, oh my goodness, I'm gonna see y'all later. Shout out to everyone that was in here. Love you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.